You need to hear this today. There are invisible nanoparticles and they are killing us. Hi, I'm Dr. Mitch, Chief Medical Officer of Hulight USA. I've been a physician for more than 44 years. I've written 4 textbooks in integrative medicine, and I've trained over 3,800 doctors in this integrative medicine, natural medicine space. Now, if you like our content, please subscribe and ring that bell below to stay up to date when we release new videos. We upload a daily dose with me, Dr. Mitch, every Wednesday, and we're always covering exciting topics and hopefully shedding some new light on your everyday health that you won't hear anyplace else. We also upload the Wellness Podcast at the end of each month, so definitely tune in for that as well. In 2020, the National Library of Medicine published an article called A Detailed Review Study of Potential Effects of Microplastics and Additives of Some Concern on Human Health. And what they said was the distribution and abundance of microplastics in our world is so extensive that many scientists use them as a key indicator of recent and contemporary period, defining a new historical epoch called the Plasticine. And nowadays, microplastic particles have been ubiquitously detected in broad ranges of shapes, polymers, sizes, concentration. It's in marine water, fresh water, pretty much all of our agro systems, food and drinking water, the biota, and pretty much other remote locations as well. To remind you, microplastic size is somewhere between 0.5 millimeter, which is fairly large, and the nanometer billionths of a meter. Studies suggest Americans get approximately 74,000 particles in their system a year. 74,000? That's a lot for our body to handle with everything else that we're exposed to every day. Now, the methods of getting these microplastic in our system actually are 3. Ingestion by, of course, swallowing these things. Inhalation, because there's airborne particles. When something is that small, it's released in the air. And also through the skin. And it usually is enhanced if you have any UV ultraviolet damage of the skin. It breaks the barrier and lets things go through the skin even more so. Now, we can also consider they've shown many places where nanoplastics in food have found a home. Here's just a few to give you an idea: honey, beer, salt, sugar, fish, and even shrimp. And the problem? Yeah, the problem is we have no method of testing these particular plastics and amounts specifically that are in the human body. Now, here are some of the challenges associated with testing microplastics in the human body. Now, what happens when these plastics get in the body? What do they do? Well, you can imagine if you have tiny, tiny pieces of foreign material in the body, whatever they go to, wherever tissue they're at, they're going to cause inflammation. And you know, inflammation, we talked about that so many times before. They're going to cause oxidative stress. The body is going to try to fight it by producing reactive oxygen species. And the third is going to cause endocrine disruption. And you've heard about this before. The plastics that we're getting associated with, whether it's BPA, etc., are actually disrupting our endocrine system, our hormones that we need desperately to have 2 cells talk by. Now, stay with me till the end because I'll give you some tips on what we can do. So here we go. How do we eliminate these plastics? Well, liver, kidneys, and the gut. 3 places. If you keep that in mind, you'll understand where I'm going with this. So what are the things that you could do to get rid of these? Obviously, a lot of hydration, fruits and vegetable, and nuts. You've heard that before. You didn't need me to tell you that. But also activated charcoal helps, at least in the gut. Milk thistle, the number 1 intracellular, it's inside the cell antioxidant, which is glutathione, and its precursor, NAD. And also, there's a caution eating a lot of these fatty foods because these plastics tend to get bound up into the fat. So if you're eating a lot of meat with fat, that could actually give you more of these products. And you want to support our anti-inflammatory pathways, our endocrine pathways, our microbiota. And you may think, and it does come up, some people say, well, sweating will help. It might if it's very tiny, but if the plastics are bigger, our sweat glands are made to release sweat, not to take out nanoplastic material out of our body. So here's a few tips. Some of them are a no-brainer, obviously. If I told you to avoid using plastic things, it would make sense. Either taking a plastic bottle or plastic container and making it too cold could leach the plastic. And of course, heating it too much, especially if you microwave plastic, it's going to leach more of these products. Consider oral and intravenous vitamin nutrition repletion. They effectively support the phase 1 and 2 detoxification of the liver. And since the liver, as we said earlier, is so much part of this, it makes sense for us to avail ourselves of these particular routes and these typical treatments. And one other thing, take a good probiotic to maintain that microbiome in your gut. It's been shown and it's clear that those people that have a good microbiome are more likely to break down the plastics to some degree and eliminate them, of course, through the fecal route. I hope this helps you. Thank you so much for watching. If there's another topic you want to hear about, please leave a comment. I want to thank you again for watching The Daily Dose. I'm Dr. Mitch, the Chief Medical Officer of Huelite USA. More to come. Hi, everyone. I'm the Chief Medical Officer of Huelite USA, and our objective, our goal is to bring you information in this overload sea of information about integrative and wellness medicine. You want real answers, you want the truth, you want honest way of looking at things, products that will or will not work? Join us. It's easy. Every month, you'll find a podcast in this nature. Want more information? Just go to info, I-N-F-O, at HueliteUSA.com. INFO at HUELIGHT USA.com.